So this is our finished cake, cooled, properly cooled. This is the bottom. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of when we dry them up, too cold. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, fair watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see that? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that. On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, I'll be sharing with you how to make a pound cake. A pound cake is a rich cake that uses a lot of butter, reasonable amount of butter. It is supposed to come out with a really brown crust, all four sides, bottom, top, everywhere, and just has this nice soft texture on the inside. However, you can, customize it, do what you want. Some people put cream cheese, some people put sour cream, some people put buttermilk. You can do what you want. I'm just doing like a basic pound cake recipe. You can make it in a round pan, you can make it in a sheet pan, you can make it in a bun shape. Most of the times it's in a bun shaped tin. However, today I'm going to be doing it in the bun shaped tin. Okay, so I'm going to attach this paddle attachment. You can use your hand mixer, you can use your stand mixer. If you're using your stand mixer, you want to fit with your paddle attachment, not the whisk, because you're going to be creaming. So the whisk part is something, it not cream, it doesn't do the job of creaming. So you want to fit it with this paddle attachment. So inside here now, I have some softened butter, okay, and I'm gonna break down the rest of the ingredients, and not break down, but I'm going to show them to you. 4 eggs, room temperature, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, milk, 1 cup granulated sugar, baking powder and salt, and I'm adding a little lime juice. I'm going to get my pan and show you what I'm going to use, and I'll come back. It's a very simple cake to make, okay? So I am using this here a 9x4 grease and line bunting. Now you can flour, grease and flour. You can use your non-stick spray. You can do whatever you please, but you ought to get your pan all greased. Now to this butter I'm gonna add softened butter. It is supposed to be everything room temperature, and I am gonna be creaming my butter and my sugar together. So after about a minute of creaming butter and sugar together, this is what it looks like. However, let me show you. You want to have your butter and your sugar creamed until it's fluff. So what you want to do, you want to scrape around, because most of the time these deep bowls here, the paddle attachment or whatever, the whisk or whatever you use, most times, well, the dough hook will go down there, but these paddle attachment and the whisk, depending on the shape of the bowl, those that are shaped like this one that I have, it doesn't go to the bottom. So you just want to give it a quick mix, and then you want to go back and just give it a little whip again. Okay, so at this time now you want to start adding your eggs one at a time. I am on speed 2, and you're going to give it a little, let it mix a little after each addition. You don't have to stop the mixer. And if two gets down in there at one point, nothing is wrong. Now this is what it looks like. If you see a little curdling, don't mind, because we use a reasonable amount of butter. Back in the days when I was a young girl and I had so much interest in baking, I used to look at some little books, like I'm talking about like back in the 70s. They would instruct you to cream your butter and your sugar until it becomes like liquid. So you know that's a mighty long way, and you had to use your hand. Maybe in other parts of the world there are these mixers and stuff back then, but we never have them. And we would try to rub as much as possible and to get our eggs in, but most of the times it wouldn't come anything like this. So now we have our eggs and our butter and our sugar becoming liquid. So you know these have helped us to come a long way with our recipes. Now we're gonna get this out of the way. We're gonna get our mixer out of the way. I'm through with it and return. So we are through with our mixer. Now we are gonna go on to our dry ingredients. I'm gonna be sifting out my flour, and I'm gonna be using my baking powder and my salt in there as well to sift out. So this is not a cake that we use spices and stuff in. So I'm gonna be sieving it out, and don't mind it, these are the latest strainer when I have no angle. All you have to do, if you don't have one, just watch, and if you have one, big up yourself. Okay, don't just hate and say anything bad. Or if you don't have one, instead of you eating, try to get one, because actually I bought this thing online, and when it came with the thing here and the angle at one point or to the other side. So we got our flour, baking powder, and I just sifted in my salt with the baking powder and the flour. Now at this point we are going to be adding this in small portions. I'm going to be adding this in about 4 parts, and we are going to be just like folding it in as I always showed you. Okay, so I'm folding in. I'm trying my best to hold Vic or Dad, are you at the angle? So we're gonna fold it in. Not sure if the spatula is the right tool, but I think it can. I don't want to change to something else. So that is thoroughly mixed in. Remember, it's a rich cake, so I don't mind the fat, the curdling from the butter and the sugar. It's a rich cake. It's supposed to be a rich cake with that butter. So we are going to cut and fold this in as you have gotten the picture, and as with most bakings like this, we cut and fold in our dry ingredients. The last of my ingredients, my dry ingredients, I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of freshly squeezed lime juice, just a touch of almond flavor, and just that's my flavor, and you know, just a little touch. That's just me. You can use black vanilla or dark vanilla. Vanilla essence, a strong one, and I'm just gonna be going with just a little of that white vanilla. Okay, also I'll be adding my milk, and I'll be adding a half, and then I'm gonna mix it in and come back to see if I really did need all of that milk. So as I mix in, I told you it's a rich cake, and let me tell you, this I can't remember the name, this white almond flavor, and if you had the yellow one too, that would be good, but just a tot. I didn't have the yellow. Oh, it makes it smell so good. So I think this little rest of milk, I leave it. So I'd say I used about a 1/4 cup of milk, and looking at this batter, it tells you that this cake is rich. That's all to it. As I said, you can customize. You can put in your lemon juice, you can put in orange juice, not a lemon, you can put orange juice, you can grate an orange. A lot of people do that, but I just choose just to keep it the simplest way. All greased and lined, up set to 350, and I'm going to be pouring this in this pan right here gently, and you're going to have room left for your cake to rise. This cake, when it rises and comes up to the top, it is supposed to, it will come, I think, with a crack because of that richness with that butter and stuff. It's gonna come with a crack. It should come way up to the top, and all of that. Gonna put it in our oven, shake it a bit gently, shake it a bit in the middle of your oven, preheated, until you hear your preheated signal goes off, which mine should be going off right now. And there you have it, another 45 minutes to 1 hour, and this cake should be ready. So our cake is out, our pound cake is out, fam. Nice pretty color to the top. I did tell you that we would get a little, you know, a little crust to the top. That's how we do the butter. Yes, nice. And it is, to, you know, as with any cake, to the middle, skewer comes out clean. You don't have to test any other part. Tender to the touch and all of that. So, and as I tell you, when you do yours and it comes this way, you got it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to use a palette knife just to run around it right there. Make sure you're using things with blunt edges, not sharp edges. So you're running it around. Remember, the cake is still hot. So this is the first thing you do when you take your cake or whatever from the oven. You want to make sure that it's not stuck. You want to try this. This is what I normally do. I always try to shake. So at least you will have an idea if this thing is stuck. It's still pretty. You want to see it moving up in there? Yeah. So your cake is not stuck. Because let me tell you, there are some things that you bake them. When they cool down, the longer they cool down, it's easier for it to come from the tin. There are some you've got to make sure that they are loosened before you take them from the tin, because as it cools down, it will stick more, as depending on the mixture. Some is okay. The more it cools, the easier it is to up. Some, the more it cools, the easier, the harder it is to get from the tin. So we're gonna leave this in the tin on the wire rack for a pretty good 45 minutes to let it cool down and let it stay set, open, and everything. If you put in something over it, make sure it's something that air can get into it. And when you see me next, we will be removing this cake, and I'll be doing a little something extra. And of course, we'll be slicing this cake and we'll be looking at the texture. Of course, I'll catch you in the next clip. So this is our finished cake, cooled, properly cooled. This is the bottom. I told you it have a nice crust. The top, yet still it is really soft. So, you know, as always, when we do anything, we have got to show you the finishing. So let me just, and you can do this cake, you can do your little thing to it. You can mix a little icing drizzle, you can put a little lemon zest to it, and then you can just trickle it down and serve it. You can serve it with some fresh fruits. You can do what you want, but I'll be showing you. You know, my thing is the end. I like the end. I'm showing you. I'm showing you. Look at the inside. This is the texture. Look at it. You see that? Okay. So you make your slice. You see your slices? So these are your slices. Try this and let me know. There will be a link in the description for you to find this recipe. You go there and check it out. Try it on your own. These days are different days. Things are getting so expensive. If you can make a cake or you can make a bread at home, you need to start doing that. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Remember to be you, do you. Most of all, love you. Some of these little things. This is a pound cake. This is a basic pound cake.